Jackass.
How dare you?
I'll tell you how dare I. There's a new movie coming out, that's out, and you didn't go see it. You jackass.
To be fair, though, I haven't seen any of the films, so it would be weird to see the fourth one as the first one.
You're just making yourself sound like an even bigger jackass. You haven't seen any of the Jackass movies?
I have not seen any of the Jackass movies.
Oh my god, it's totally, you wouldn't like them, but you should watch them. It's totally, they're so good. But they're definitely not your flavor at all.
Right.
Yeah. Hello and welcome
to the Movie Men podcast. Yeah.
Well, go ahead. No, you were about to say what I was about to say, but you'll say it better. Go.
It's somewhat of a bonus episode, I guess you'd call it.
Somewhat, yeah. A little unexpected. It's like this is like what this is like. And this is an episode where we're talking about Jackass, so I feel like, if you're listening to this already and you're 8-year-olds in the car, then you yourself are a jackass. But this episode, think of this as like when you go in, it's your significant other, your husband, your wife, your well, those are most of the options. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your non-binary, whatever, your partner, and you go in for a hug, and then they just like, they squeeze your tush a little bit. This is, our Con Air episode is the weekly hug that we give you.
Sure.
And our Jackass episode is that squeeze. It's just that, like, you weren't expecting it, and it's just kind of a nice little, nice little. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I have no idea.
I wish I could see your face right now, though. I'm just picturing severe discomfort. Listen, so I went to see Jackass Forever. I knew Pete wasn't going to go see it. And, but I didn't want to not talk about it. And I didn't want to not talk about it. What? I didn't want to talk about it alone.
Right.
Because we've done that. We've done solo I think just one. You did 1917, is that what it is? Or something?
Yeah, and not to get too in the weeds, I think there was like a James Bond episode as well where like it's technically both of us, but it was like I recorded a bit.
Just me.
You recorded a bit, then I recorded my like response or something, so it's like very much essentially we're by ourselves, but it's just like mashed together.
And they're not good episodes.
They're not ideal. No.
It's not our best work. No. So I wanted you here so we could talk, because already if you hadn't been here, everything that I would have said up until this point, it would have made nobody feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah. And that would have been lost. So Jackass. So I don't know what to, just talk to me. Ask me questions about my talk to me.
Okay, so I'm not even going to ask it about specifically this film because we'll get into that, or you'll share a bit about that. But what's the jive for these films? Like, is it that they're funny, or is it that they're uncomfortable and that like it's just like I guess is it like a fear factor, like a shock value of like. I know generally what they do, so like they do crazy stunts, they do crazy things.
Yeah.
Is it like the shock value, or is it humor, or is it both, or like what is the driving factor for these films?
It's a little bit of all of it. It's they're funny, they're entertaining to watch. It's kind of like those, and I don't know about you and your friend group growing up, but like me and my friend group, we would. There was always, on a Saturday afternoon, there was always the inclination to, if it was the winter time, to build a ramp for our GT Racer that was maybe a little bit bigger and more uncomfortable than, or find a way to ride the GT Racer off the roof of the barn, or strap fireworks to something that you typically wouldn't strap fireworks to, or whatever. Just that kind of like that stupid teenage, young adult, middle-aged man, you know, rambunctiousness.
Sure.
You know, the same thing that built into you, you know, all the teenage boys. I never did this because this frustrated the hell out of me. But when they'd go around, you know, teenage boys go around like hitting each other in the nuts because it's like there's just
Right.
something about the pain, and you know, I don't know what it is. But there's that thrill-seeking stuff as a young adult that, you know, a lot of the time you act on it, a lot of the time you don't if it's like super crazy. And so Jackass is kind of a combination of that. They don't say no to near as much as us normal people who have to not have a broken leg for work on Monday would say no to.
Sure.
And as a result, you get, like, I truly believe so much of the fail army genre, the fail videos on the internet, are kind of birthed out of the popularity of Jackass.
And
Right?
sorry,
They're kind of a
just-
combination of Jackass and Funniest Home Videos.
Sure, and by just to dumb it down, like what you're talking about is like someone goes on a skateboard ramp, completely wipes out, and like does something,
Busts their nose up.
busts
or
their
whatever.
nose
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, okay.
You know, so this, like, but Jackass is very, you know, so it's like that, but instead of like, oh, I twisted my wrist, it's I broke my collarbone, a rib, and my arm.
Gosh.
And so it's extreme stunts. They're stunt guys. They're doing stunts without protective gear, right? Like they'll have a helmet on or something.
Sure.
But there's no ropes, there's no green screens, there's no crash mats, there's no, right? They're doing crazy over the top stuff. They're taking a little tricycle big wheel and trying to do a loop-de-loop ramp thing with it. Right? Or like jump pocket bikes over a river or something, right? Like
Sure.
stuff like this. I think in one of the older movies, they rented a cube van. And they put a bunch of guys in the back of the cube van on roller skates and locked them in there and shut the lights off. So it's pitch black. You're in the back of this cube van. You're on roller skates, and then they drive the cube van like super recklessly. Slam on the brakes and bank hard and stuff like that. So you're like flying into each other, getting hurt.
Right.
And so that's, I think that is kind of the appeal and the gist of Jackass.
Okay. My next question, and like I guess get into the specifics of this film. Has it like when you watch number 4, are you going, why does this exist, or like does it get a little weaker as the films go on, like any film series where you go, okay, did we need 4? Did we need 3? Did we need 2? Like where are you at with that?
I think 3 might be my favorite.
Oh wow, okay.
But there's a couple segments, because it's just broken up into segments, right? Like it's 9 minutes of, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the such and such. Like they'll name the stunt, and then it's 2 or 3 minutes of whatever, and then they move on to the next segment, right?
Gotcha.
It's something shot on another day at a different time. Some of the segments from the new one, I think, are better than any of the segments from any of the others. But I think collectively, the third one is my favorite. But, there is kind of this, like, they were aware of this. They were aware that, when the first one came out, they had an MTV show called Jackass. And so the first movie, Jackass the movie, was kind of it was their chance to do all of the things that they couldn't get away with on TV. right? Because you have to like there's certain things you can't say, stuff you can't show, stuff
Sure.
But when you're making a movie, whatever, you do whatever you want. Yep. And so Jackass was very much that. Jackass 2 was them kind of. It's a big step over. Okay, now we've proven the concept. We have a bigger budget. We're not super well known. We're not super famous. We still have sort of egos and stuff. The third one was fun because the third one is actually called Jackass 3D, and so they shot with a bunch of 3D cameras and stuff like that. And it was it was the first one I went to go see in the theater, and it was like a big,
big deal.
Big kind of spectacle. Yeah, the guy shot out of the cannon. He shot towards the camera, and you see it kind of happen in 3D.
Right.
But Jackass 3D came out in 2010.
Oh, wow.
So it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
They're all 50 now. And so there was this idea of like, is this just stupid now? And so they actually got together in like 2019 or 2020 and shot a little bit of test footage, did like 2 days of shooting just so that they could watch it back and sort of answer that question of like, does this make sense anymore? Or is it just pathetic? Is it just pathetic now that we're 50? Or is it funnier now that we're 50? And ultimately, they decided, hey, it still works because we ended up with the movie. They did introduce a bunch of new, like maybe 4 or 5 sort of new younger people into the mix. And so that kind of freshens it up a little bit, I guess. But it's still, it was no less funny to see, and if anything was more funny to see an old guy doing these stunts.
Fair enough. As I know nothing about these films, we just did a review of a film that was star-studded. Are these people famous? Like, are they actors or like TV personalities that someone would recognize? Or are these people like, this is what they're famous for?
For the most part, this is what they're famous for. Like Johnny Knoxville is definitely he's like the ringleader, and he's definitely the most famous out of them.
Okay.
A lot of them started out as skateboarders, like they're skaters. And so a lot of what they were doing, and this is we don't have time to get into all of this, but this type of stunt video jackassery started out like it was sort of a skate video culture. And so yeah, so most of them all of them, their fame is through Jackass. But several of them have gone on. Like Steve-O is also incredibly famous. He has his own podcast now. He does a touring show and stuff like that. He's had his own series that he's done, series that he's done. And so yeah, they're all famous because of Jackass.
Sure.
But multiple of them have been able to sort of transcend that fame.
Sure. So, again, piggybacking off our previous episode by just using all these questions, what were your perceptions going into it? Like, did you have low expectations or high expectations? And how were they, like, were you happy? Were you sad? Were you disappointed at the end? Like, how did you go into it and how did you come out?
I went into it super excited. I came out of it super satisfied.
Oh.
Right now, the film's got a 93% is the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
The tomato meter score is an 87.
Wow. Okay.
So it's yeah, it's universally people like this movie.
Sure.
There's the noticeable absence of 2 cast members from the original 3.
Oh.
One being Ryan Dunn, who passed away a couple years back now.
Okay.
And the other is Bam Margera, who is there's some substance. He started filming with them, and he makes a brief appearance in a segment that they shot before he got fired. But he got kicked off the set, and then there was lawsuits and restraining orders, and yeah. So even though there's new cast members, and none of the new cast members really did anything for me. Like they're fine. They're not like annoying that they're there, but they're also not, it's not the Jackass crew that we've known for 25 years now.
Sure.
And so, yeah, there were some noticeable omissions, but it's also like, there's Sean William Scott shows up in one of them, as like a cameo. There's a bunch of like big athletes, they'll bring in like a crazy quarterback to tackle some of the guys.
Sure.
Tony Hawk makes regular appearances.
Huh.
I'm trying to think who else, like a bunch of people who you probably wouldn't know, but like,
sure.
Yeah, there's enough, like it's not just such a small niche thing that nobody else. Machine Gun Kelly's in this one briefly. Okay. Tori Balashi, who is one of the hosts, one of the like the auxiliary hosts of Mythbusters back in the day. He's in one of the helps them out with a stunt.
I totally thought it wouldn't make sense. I thought you were going to say Tom Belushi. No,
Tom Belushi.
No, who was
John Belushi.
John Belushi, yeah.
John Belushi's the one that died, and then Jim Belushi is his brother.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoy it. I would recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. It's fun. It is, they up the stakes in a lot of ways. This is Johnny Knoxville. This is going to be his last Jackass where he's doing some of the bigger stunts. He's typically the one that goes up against the bulls. So anytime they do something with a bull, he's the one that gets tackled by the bull.
Oh, jeez. And
this time around, it like flipped him around 2.5 times, knocked him out. He had a broken something. He broke a couple of things, but most noticeably, it caused him to have a brain hemorrhage. And so he's okay, but there was definitely some brain damage, some temporary brain damage. And yeah, so he's somehow they've all kind of come away without any super permanent things. But he's gone on record saying, I think I got nothing to prove at this point. Like, you can only do this for so long before something irreversible happens. And that's not the game that he's in.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this world where money is money, or like passion is passion, but to have some type of like actual brain injury and like near death, or at least there's a lot of things that I would probably say no to, even if I was really into it. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shit ton of money, and then I don't know how, like they all respect each other and stuff, but it is a movie too, so sure. I don't know how the contracts work. Like, I think contractually, I think you're allowed to say no to a couple of things, but you also have to say yes. Like, if there's 50 shots, if there's 50 stunts we're going to do, you're allowed to say no to 5. But if you say no to the first 5, then contractually, so sort of pick and choose the ones that you opt out of.
Okay.
Because otherwise, like at the end of the day, we're talking about millions of dollars, and
yeah,
we will sue you. Right? You're a friend, your family, you're whatever, but this is also business. This is our job. This is what we do.
Right.
We have, we're partnered with Paramount. Like we work with a big studio here, and we have to we're contractually obligated to deliver this film.
Right.
So do it.
Film is a business.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
What would you give it
Do you
out
have
of
any other
10?
questions?
What would you give it out of 10?
I would say 8.5 out of 10.
You liked it. Okay.
I really liked it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm excited for it to come out. And then they always they overshoot, right? So they shoot basically 2 movies worth every time they shoot. And then they just go through and they pick all the best stuff. So there was Jackass 1, Jackass 2, Jackass 3, but then there was also 2.5 and 3.5, which were 90-minute collections of deleted scenes, bloopers, some interviews, stuff like that. So they've announced that 4.5 will be coming as a Netflix release. So I don't know when, but I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to rewatch it once it's out on home video or streaming. I guess everything's streaming now, but
yeah. Well, and VHS, streaming or VHS.
Yeah, beta.
Laserdisc.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting in on this and talking about a movie that you didn't go see.
Hey, anytime.
I hope someday, I might when the world is back to normal and we're like, hey, let's just hang out and watch a movie together. I might put on some segments and be like, hey, just so that you can at least see this is what it's about. This is why we like it.
Sure. And I will never
be uncomfortable.
I will never say never, because obviously this is not my cup of tea. But on the hierarchy of things of, hey, when I picture you sitting me, Peter, down and saying this is the movie we got to watch, it's the Walk the Lines, it's the Titanics that I'd be like, we got to check this out first. But
yeah,
I won't say never.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good. All right, thank you, sir. Wrap this up.
Check out our socials below. Like, follow, subscribe. Give us a good rate and review wherever you're listening. Thank you for listening. And again, this was kind of a bonus episode, so obviously we didn't do our what we watched.
A little short,
but check out any of our other regular episodes for the kind of a more of a good vibe of what we do, where we talk about stuff, talk about what we watched, and again, thank you for listening.
Wow. That was rehearsed, wasn't it? Where we talk about
we do stuff.
We do things. It's a show. It's
we do it.
There's we say words. There's words
sometimes.